Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AIM Impact on Your Health. AIM Impact on Your Health for every day. Our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AIM Impact on Your Health is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AIM Impact on Your Health, for each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, well folks, he's so involved with pulling people together in the health industry and bringing their message in a harmonious way to you. So today we've got him here, and he's going to be talking about what's going on in matters of health throughout the Western Pennsylvania area. He's got a publication, Lifestyle Magazines. His second edition, I guess the fall edition, has just hit the stands. We'll find out where to get that. It's loaded with articles from very prominent clinicians that you know, and they advertise in the doggone thing. You'll find out just where you want to go to be treated by whomever you choose to be treated by when Sven Hosford takes to the airways today. Now, in the course of our discussion with Sven, if you want to call in to ask a question, don't forget the number to do that is to dial us up at 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. I'll listen for that knock on the door, and I will let you in the store. Okay, let's take a look at the other things that are being scheduled. Now, I hope you were with us on Monday. If you weren't, boy, go to the archives, and you don't want to miss, I believe, a very uplifting experience we had with the featured speaker now at the Freedom of Choice in Cancer Therapy group tomorrow night. Now, I couldn't help but think that while she was on the air, and I thought about it afterwards, of that famous movie with Meg Ryan, and they're in a restaurant, and I won't really describe the sound effects that Meg was able to produce. Nonetheless, the person in the back of the restaurant says, "I'll have what she's having." Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to have a little bit of what she has. And maybe we'll just get that spread across the room on Thursday night. Energy abounds. This gal, Janet McKee, is going to be the featured speaker up there. And you'll see what I mean if you happen to come on getting some of that stuff for yourself. Janet McKee, talking about intestinal issues, but goodness gracious, she's so much more conversant on all matters health that, well, I'll be there. Looking forward to see you. 7 o'clock, I'm going to be at the Riverside Landings. Now, we got the word from the municipality. The Holton Bridge. Now, this is a news flash, so that if you were concerned about, oh my goodness, I wouldn't want to go up there, it'd be a mess if the Holton Bridge was closed. I'll just cut my tongue out with a butter knife. It's not closed, folks. We've been told. It is wide open, and it will be open. So however you plan on attacking Oakmont, if it involves the Holton Bridge, come on ahead. Nothing will impede your progress. You'll be able to get to where you need to go on the other side at Riverside Landing. Of course, you go to that Walgreens and turn right, and it's just the next stop sign down, another right, and you're there. So see you on Thursday night. Janet McKee is going to be the featured speaker up there. On Friday, we're going to go over, every so often, the spirit moves me talking about supplementation. It happened again. The double shopping bag syndrome showed up at my front door, and it scares the heck out of me when I see it. And that usually prompts me to bring that message back home to you. Supplementation, how to supplement, how to make some common sense of this supplementation and get out of the thing that I saw the other day, which I referred to as shopping bag syndrome. 2 bags full, yes sir, 2 bags full. There were supplements all the way to the top, and that gentleman just didn't get it. Hopefully I can get that message across to you. You want to pay attention with us on Friday when we talk about sensible supplementation. We'll talk about the Beresha and about the TLS program on Friday. Next week, I think, I'm not too sure, I can't say 100% because I haven't really booked her yet, but I think Susie Weiss is going to be our guest on Monday because she wants to be here in the office for a free seminar on Thursday on essential oils. And you've come to appreciate the fact that Susie Weiss, who knows more about essential oils than just anybody else around here, comes to my office once a month and has a little free seminar out here in my waiting room. It takes about 2 hours, and people usually enjoy learning about the essential oils. They get involved with the essential oils. She helps enabling them to procure the essential oils. Anyway, well, I'm going to let you know for sure on Friday. I think Susie's going to be our guest on Monday in preparation for her office appearance here on Thursday. That's 10 o'clock. If you'd like to be involved with the essential oils free seminar, the number sort of services a number of issues, but it's 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002. Speaking of other reasons to call that number, eye programs. Now look, we're just finishing today. This is the third day of a 3-day eye treatment protocol that has been put together by Dr. Ed Condrat. Many of you who listen to this program are certainly well aware of it. But out there in the listening audience are people who are afflicted with macular degeneration or glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, or cataracts. And especially for the first three, the cataracts maybe actually do have a solution, but that's a surgical one. And we want to make sure we put surgery last. So if you have any of those four issues, the first three of them don't have a place to take it in the conventional medical world. You're going to be told, nothing that can be done for MACD or glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy. And that message is an incorrect one, because with the Ed Condrat 3-day treatment program, we get these visual problems turned around in 3 days and start you on a glide path to make further improvements as you return home from day 4 and beyond. If you think you're interested in learning more about the 3-day treatment program and how that may affect your particular eye issues, we invite you to come to our free seminar. We're going to hold this one on Monday here in my office at 5:30. If you think you'd like to be involved, use that number again, 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002. Talk to Sister Sarah. She'll get you guided in here, and I'll see you at 5:30. Be here about an hour, no longer than an hour and a half, to be able to get those questions answered. So if you're the afflicted one, it's a pretty easy decision. If you have the relative or the friend or the neighbor or somebody else, and you just can't convey this message strong enough to them, give us a shot at that, to try to explain to them how this program could help them by bringing them, just bring them on in and reserve a seat. Once again, that number, 724-942-3002. The TLS program kicks off on Saturday. That is the Transition to Lifestyle Systems program. Patricia Szymanski, who was our guest last Friday, is going to be your coach. If you want to lose weight, if you want to get control of your carbohydrate metabolism, correct your prediabetes, or absolutely help reverse your well-established diabetes, you want to be a part of this 10-week program, give us a call by talking to Sister Sarah once again at 724-942-3002. It starts this Saturday. These programs will be held each and every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. If you have conflicts in the schedule, if you just know that you're afraid to get involved with this program because you might not be able to make it, as I told you the other day, and I repeat now, there's a way that you can either online do the same thing that's going to be done that particular week, and so you really don't miss a thing. Or so I got some people that don't really have computers and they can't do it that way. We've got a way worked out, Patricia does, for a telephone consult, which she promises to be able to faithfully involve herself with. If you can't make it for some reason, you'll be able to not miss anything. That's an important thing. Over a 10-week period, somebody usually has something going on. So the TLS program, couple of slots left. Dial us up at 942-3002. Talk to Sister Sarah and get enrolled. Final thing I'll mention, Beresha is doing very well. Of course, 1 week ago, we were at the JDRF Walk for the Cure. Met a lot of you there, introducing you to Beresha. There was a huge tasting. I don't have any tasting scheduled right now. If you'd like to learn more about Beresha, you can stop in my office. I'll give you some samples to try at home. That's an easy way. If I'm still geographically undesirable, look, go to the website, my website at pittsburghiprotocol.com. The only reason I'm having you go in there is all the products that I recommend are found in the products section of that website. And when you click on products, the first thing that pops up is Beresha International. And then once clicking on that, you are invited into the store, and you can purchase the product and try it yourself. It is a one-of-a-kind go-to set of drinks. There's a coffee, an organic coffee that's to die for, a peach mango tea, lemonade, and also a sweetener. 4 of the 7 products are now unveiled. 3 more coming. Time to find out which ones they are, and we'll reveal them to you as they are released. But you want to cash in on this go-to way to get thermogenic, meaning losing weight, losing fat without doing anything else other than drinking them. They're satiety quenching, meaning you will eat less after having drank them. The obvious thing is they're low glycemic. Well, that's par for the course, but blunting the cephalic response so you don't get a gush of hormones just because you're drinking something sweet is, I believe, the real art that only Beresha has been able to conquer. We had the scientists here. They confirmed it, and I keep bringing that message to you. So head to the website at pittsburghiprotocol.com, opening page, click on products, and then go to the Beresha website. You'll read quite a bit about all the products and how to become involved, and we'll let it go at that. All right. Going to take a short break. In the interim, we're going to go find him, folks. He knows just about everything going on here in Western Pennsylvania and then some. His name is Sven Hosford. He just has his new fall edition of Lifestyle Medicine magazine. I have it in my office. Maybe we'll find out if there's an office near you. Be right back in a moment with Sven Hosford. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AIM Impact on Your Health. Heard here in KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today, the Wednesday morning version of the show. A slight glitch we got going on here. I hope we get it rectified. Sven has called up the station, and whatever phone he's on is so broken up that I would frustrate you, I'm told, if I brought him onto the air with this current situation. They're trying to rectify that in the background. Told I'll be given advance warning if they can get it rectified, and let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm prepared if I get the high sign that it's unable to be intelligible today to switch gears and get ready for that one. I'll entertain anybody have any questions out there while we're waiting to take at least the next break. The number is 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Entertain quick questions or comments by you. Now, trying to just give you some additional information on things that are going on around here. I haven't mentioned ozone in a while. I probably should at least mention what's on the drawing board. And I think that maybe this week it will be fully actualized. But you can all remember the very famous shows that we did with Dr. Frank Schallenberger. I met him in December of 2013. He came aboard on our show January, then February, and then April. Skip March and April, with what I believe 3 platinum shows describing for you for the first time what ozone really was supposed to do and how it was supposed to do it. I keep referring people, and I will actually refer you to the website at djcmd.com. And when the opening page comes up, click on the archive icon, and then you're taken onto YouTube. In the search engine, you want to type in Courtney / Schallenberger. That's phonetic, by the way, with 2 L's. Schallenberger / ozone. And you've always been able to hear all 3 of these shows called Ozone 1, 2, and 3 to sort of allow you to become familiarized with. Back in the day, that was your first opportunity to really learn from the Godfather himself what ozone was supposed to do. Now, we have a new machination that I'm trying to pull off, hopefully by tomorrow night. I would like to think that we're having those 3 shows put on a disc, as well as another show which is entitled The 13 Reasons to Do Ozone Therapy, which is coming off of a lecture given by Dr. Frank Schallenberger. I believe this set of CDs will be a great way for you to pass the message on. Now, you listen to the show, you know about the archives. Sometimes it's a little tough to get the acquaintance or the friend or the relative to do the same. And for these CDs that we're going to be able to give to you, and we're just going to charge you a minimum fee, $4 or $5 for them, you'll have the actual shows for posterity at easy beck and call that you can play it on a CD player anytime you want. Now, we're hoping to get that thing pulled off. I'm trying to put it together for Thursday night. I hope to have these in my possession for Thursday. I'll keep my fingers crossed out there at the Freedom of Choice in Cancer Therapy group. If I don't, they'll be available here certainly by the end of the week and the beginning of next. But that's the newest machination with ozone. Of course, this is a great therapy to be utilizing here. We're legally able to dispense and utilize this substance because we're a member of an IRB with Dr. Frank Schallenberger. The FDA felt strong enough about the whole issue of ozone under his direction that they granted that IRB. And so here we are, finally out of the dark ages, because believe you me, Pennsylvania was in the dark ages when it came to utilizing ozone as a therapeutic modality. And now we're out from the shadows, out in the full light of day. The interesting thing about ozone, because you get to a point with ozone and listening to Dr. Schallenberger, where he keeps saying, well, you use ozone for this thing, and then you use ozone for that thing, and then pretty soon you say, oh my goodness, is there anything you don't use ozone for? Because it's getting a little crazy. Every time you open your mouth, you say, use ozone therapy. Well, actually, the answer to the question is no. There isn't a single thing that you can't use ozone for because, and here's the key, this is the crux of the matter, and I don't know if it clearly came out on the CDs, but once you know this, then you really know the answer to why ozone is such the successful therapy. it meets the common link found to all diseased tissue. So if you're not a healthy person, no matter what it is that you're suffering from, there's a fundamental issue that you've got going on, which is the mitochondria that are found inside of each and every cell in your body, with the job of which, of the mitochondria, is to burn food to produce energy in the form of ATP. That particular mechanism is off kilter, and you're not able to manufacture optimal amounts of ATP, which is providing each cell with energy. And if that cell doesn't have the energy to function, it dysfunctions, and whatever zip code it happens to be found in, those cells collectively don't function, and then you get a symptom that alerts you to something that is wrong. Ozone, and so there's an optimal amount of production of ATP. Here's the key. As it would have it, that at the best that can be done, there's a ratio of 1 mole of fat should be able to produce optimally 36 moles of ATP. Now forget the word mole. Just remember the ratio. The ratio is 1 to 36. And if you are functioning, and whatever cells are involved are functioning at a 1 to 36 ratio and producing that much ATP, let's just say this: you don't have a disease. It's impossible for you to suffer from anything. You're the most healthy specimen on the planet. But when you have symptoms, it's because the mitochondria of that particular set of cells is not functioning at that ratio of 1 mole of fat is able to make 36 moles of ATP. And if that isn't there, what is it at? Is it 1 to 30? What about this? How about 12 moles of ATP? How about 4? Well, with each decrease in the ability to make ATP, the ability of those cells to work becomes less and less and less efficient, and the symptoms become more pronounced. Ozone therapy, as well as the other 2 oxidative therapies. There are 3 total. The godfather of all ozone therapy, of all oxidative therapies, is ozone. The second most potent mechanism of ozone therapy is IV hydrogen peroxide. And the third oxidative therapy, I say oxidative, not oxygenated, oxidative therapy, is ultraviolet blood irradiation. There's some confusion that, like HBO, which is the hyperbaric oxygen chamber that is able to sort of take you down to 2 atmospheres of pressure, like going down 66 feet below the surface of water, and putting a 100% enriched environment in the machine, is able to produce super oxygenation. But it does not, I repeat, it does not do anything to improve the oxidation factor, the ability to get ATP up and functioning optimally again. So look forward to the release of these CDs. I think for posterity's sake, you probably want to get a set of these, and also probably to pass them on to others that you know could be benefited. And I think after they hear the great Frank Schallenberger and those 3 shows, I certainly call them platinum shows. People usually, their objections, at least they say, well, geez, what the heck, we should at least try it. So keep on the lookout for the release of those CDs. Hopefully I'll have them with me on Thursday night up there at the Freedom of Choice group. If not, they'll be available here within the week. And then pass them on and spread the word on ozone therapy. So systemically, yes, ozone therapy is a wonderful treatment to restore all sorts of very serious problems that don't appear to have great fixes. Things like Epstein-Barr and Lyme's diseases, where so many different systems are involved. None of the systems appear to be working right. But of course, too, there's a local request where people have pain problems, chronic pain problems. It might be a knee, it could be an ankle, it could be a hip, shoulder, but a therapy that was invented by Dr. Frank Schallenberger which is entitled Prolozone, is able to reverse those diseases no matter what the cause. Remember, once again, that the link to all disease is the inability of tissue to be able to produce optimal amounts of ATP, and the most optimal ratio is 36 moles of ATP from 1 mole of fat consumption that's being burned. What is your ratio? I do not know, but no matter what the disease, that ratio can be reestablished, turned around, the pain problem can be resolved if you utilize the approaches that we've been talking about for so long. All right. So we, hey, I think we may have had a resolution to the problem with determining the sound quality of our guest. And is this Sven? Is this you, Sven?
It is me. I want to clarify that. Not the quality of the guest, the quality of the technology.
Excuse me for that Freudian slip, Sven. You know what I mean? But you sound like you're in a phone booth at the bus station, back in the corner near the bathroom. I know that phone very well. Why is it that you sound? Why is it that you sound like you're in the bus station, Sven?
I don't know what it is with you, Dr. Courtney, but every time we try to do a show together, either I'm on your show or you're on my show, and we have all these technical difficulties.
All right. Look, you are at least intelligible enough that I can make out what you're saying. My listeners, so just concentrate on Sven. He's not in the most ideal of situations. Sven, you really got to get real with the phone. We're talking about phones, Sven. Okay, so this isn't major technology here. I think you should be able to get this resolved by the next time we do this. All right?
Well, didn't you hear the computers are supposed to make our life easier?
Well, it's complicated your life a lot, Sven. So.
Man, oh man.
All right. By the way, when I listen to your podcast, they're just clear channel. They're great. By the way, I'll have you talk about podcasts in just a minute. So, folks,
sure.
Here you got them. It's Sven Hosford. I told you that if there's somebody that asks, what's going on? What's going on in the health industry in Western Pennsylvania? Sven, you're the go-to guy. Why don't you, maybe for listeners who don't know much about you, why don't you fill us in on your background and how it is that you're the go-to man now. You're Mr. Wonderful when it comes to letting every listener know what is going on. You do so verbally with your own podcast. You do so with this publication, which I want you to talk about too. Sven, tell them who you are.
Well, thanks, Dennis. I really appreciate all your efforts and all that you do to help support us. I've been around in the publishing world in Pittsburgh here for about 20 years now. We first started a magazine called Point of Light back in 1994. And back then we covered just a wide umbrella of anything related to health and a lot of different spirituality kind of things. And as I got into it more and more and studied it more and more, I became more fascinated by the science and where all the metaphysical theory and the actual science was coming together, and some of the leading edge nutrition and research like that was just really fascinating. And that magazine ended in 2009 for a variety of reasons. And I just started working in marketing and working with healthcare professionals, and worked on a documentary where I got to interview one of the top researchers on the planet, really. His name is Dr. Neil Bernard, and he's with the Physicians Council of Responsible Medicine in Washington, D.C. And, in 2009, he said to me, if any doctor isn't paying attention to the current science of nutrition, they're being scientifically irresponsible. And I really took that to heart, and I thought that was a really excellent point. And so 2 years later, when I found myself in the ICU with conditions that were caused by actually poor nutrition in childhood, and I was fed literally poison. I mean, hydrogenated oils and high fructose corn syrup with every meal. And I just felt so, because I don't generally eat that way. I eat pretty healthy. And I was so disappointed that one of the top 50 heart hospitals in the world, right here in Pittsburgh, was feeding me poison, the stuff that would put me in the cardiac ward if I was stupid enough to eat it. right there in the cardiac ward. And I found it so flabbergasting that it really set my mission to find and network with and unify a good, solid community of healthcare practitioners that understand that food is medicine, that understand the mind-body connection, that work with the energy medicine, and maybe not afraid to work outside the insurance system, and really build a close-knit community of people who truly do care about giving people the right solution and not just the most expensive solution. So in that vein, I started a magazine this year called the Journal of Lifestyle Medicine. And so we focus mostly on nutrition and the mind-body connection and energy medicine. And that's about it. I really wanted to keep it very simple. It's available in health food stores and yoga studios and waiting rooms, such as Dr. Dennis Courtney's. And it's really a nice collection in print version of over 20 different healthcare people here in the area. And a little article or some advertising from each one. Really a nice range of things and really some interesting options to think about when you're in a healthcare crisis. So that's the print side of it. And then, of course, you have to have a website. Everybody has to have a website. And then I'm like you, Dr. Courtney. I really like to listen to myself talk, so I couldn't get away without doing a podcast. So I do a podcast every week. And again, I've got to interview some of the most amazing, talented, local and national professionals who've interviewed you, of course, and where we had, I think, some technical difficulties. And I've interviewed some really, really fascinating, cutting-edge people. The one that we're going to release today is with Dean Juhan, who is the author of a book called Job's Body. If you are a body worker of any kind or you're interested in body work, this is a book. I mean, this guy is phenomenally informed about the soft tissue and the skin and muscle and bone and nerves and how it all works together, like very few doctors. And he's just somebody that started doing research and met Dr. Milton Traeger along the way and learned a whole bunch from him and then kept doing more research and, very smart guy. But, wow, the stuff he knows about the human body, it'll blow your mind. So it's really been an honor and a privilege to be able to interview some of the top people, again, locally and nationally, and make those interviews available. Now, you do this three times a week.
Yeah.
I do once a week. How the heck do you do this, Dr. Courtney?
Well, I don't have to prep like you do. It just sort of comes natural. You get the right guest, all the spotlight's on them, and I'm learning as much. I'm just asking questions. So if I had to prep for this show, like maybe you do, because it looks like when you're doing it, you had to read what your guest wrote, and then you ask very intelligent questions. My questions aren't very intelligent. They're just the same questions that anybody would ask in any conversation, and that's how it's worked for all these years. So the reason I can do this show 3 days a week is I love bringing experts, as you do too. Love bringing experts to the public to have them learn, and they've learned so much, and I've learned so much from it. So it continues on this very day. Also, too, it's happening at a time of the day where there's not much else going on, Sven. At 8 o'clock in the morning. It's really not interfering with my day. And at the end, 9 o'clock, I just shut down the computer and turn around, and I'm ready to walk out in my office and take it from the top, as they say. So
your website too is just a real treasure trove of the different interviews that you've done. You record them and put them up there on YouTube. That's
that you mentioned it. Every show I've done since 2003, Sven.
Wow.
I mean, 3 times a week. I don't know what the math is on that one, but this nice thing called YouTube comes along where you actually don't have to worry about the hard drive space. They give it to you. And so we put all of our shows up there, and there they remain. So every so often, a guy like Dave Fish, who knows what show I did 7 years ago on like the Friday before Easter. He knows this. I don't know why he knows it. He goes back and digs these shows out. He's amazing on being able to do that, and I have some other listeners who do the same. Now, you're the go-to man when it comes to what's going on in Western Pennsylvania. So let me just ask you direct, what's going on in Western Pennsylvania that our listeners want to know about? What's happening, as they say, in the health industry world that you need to apprise my listeners of to bring them up to speed?
Well, you mean just in general?
Just in general or specific? Are there events that we need to know about? I mean, with your Lifestyle magazine, I think we're brought up to speed on the clinicians in our area and what they offer. I like that. I like being a part of it. And by the way, have I noticed that this edition of Lifestyle magazine is much thicker than the first one? Is there?
Yes.
Is it growing leaps and bounds? Because I can tell just by the weight alone. This thing it's growing, big guy. And get ready for a meteoric rise. And even as each edition comes out, I feel that if you're a clinician, you want to be in the Sven Hosford Journal. Is that the way it's working out too?
Yes, pretty much. Maybe not with quite as much meteoric rise as you put into it, but we have seen growth, and it's been a really, and I could say too that the people that we have in the magazine, the quality of the writing and the quality of the topics is really what I'm most pleased with. And also, I have to put a shout out to my designer, Greta Polo is just one of the best designers, and she really loves working with wellness professionals and healthcare professionals. And she is one herself. She also does the movement therapy, and she's also quite a lovely tango dancer. So it's really a nice team of people that I have. I've got a great crew for Annette Lenar, and I work with Mike Sorg on the technical side of things. He's not responsible for today's technical fiasco by any means. So it's, again, it's the quality of the people that I'm bringing together is what I'm most happy about.
Now, just for the heck of it, too, as I was going to the internet this morning, trying to dig up some things about you, you're like this. You host with Dr. Wagner. Dr. Wagner, by the way, I just couldn't say enough about this guy and his participation in Lifestyle magazines. He's writing big-time articles each and every issue. He's larger than life up there in the North Hills at, I think it's called Natural Pharmacy or Nature's Pharmacy or something like that. But you end up pinch hitting for him. You're like his go-to guy when he's in the Amazon. Does he call on you, Sven, do his radio shows for him?
Yeah, he does. Every time he takes a trip, I do. I sit in and get his radio show. Yeah, and he's expanding out too. He's opening up a little store out at St. Clair. Our mutual friend, Dr. Saptar Chaudhry, is finally refurbished that space across the street from his main office. And you're going to see a little Nutri-Pharmacy East out there in Export. So people out in the eastern suburbs can meet with Dr. Dan once a month, I think it is, out at St. Clair. And so great connections are being made all around. And I know you've connected with another one of our favorite people in our magazine, Dr. Lori Vankowitz.
Oh, Dr. Lori. Oh, man, good people. And Lori's jumped right into the Beresha stuff. And we'll see what goes on. I think, is it today or tomorrow? She actually moves. Dr. Lori's moving from her old place, which is in Mars, out there on Route 8. I don't know exactly where, but I think it's happening this week, to be honest with you.
I think it's moving right now, and I think they're actually opening in a couple of days. Maybe I'm thinking the 26th.
Well, I got to bring her on our show to talk about that, and then I'm going to visit up there too and see how we can get involved with bringing sort of things that I do within her office. I know we had talked about that, and I'm really looking forward. So, yeah, there's a relation. I think that's what you do, Sven. You bring professionals together. They find out that they have like ways of thinking, and I can't tell you how you facilitated, not just in my own case, but I've watched it in others, where just by bringing the minds together, nice things happen, and it wouldn't have happened unless that intro was made, the magazine wasn't done, We haven't clustered and met in groups like out there at Sinclair. It's just wherever you go, you extend a warm welcome to all sorts of practitioners, and some interaction takes place, and voila, we got it happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dr. Courtney. I just think that we're in a time when the more we can work together, the more everybody benefits. There's so many good things happening. There's so many young kids coming up that really get this. They get this to the bone. And one of them I'd like to talk about is we're the media sponsor for a network called Organically Social. And they're having a Juice Fest. The first ever Pittsburgh Juice Fest is coming up in November, on November 15th. It's a Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's going to be out at the Pure Athletics Sportsplex in Wexford. So we're really happy to sponsor that. And people can find out more by going to getorganicallysocial.com. And this is a really interesting little network. I don't know if you're up to date with him yet, Dr. Courtney, but he offers deals and discounts to from health and wellness businesses. So he's got juice people, he's got fitness people, he's got nutrition people, he's got doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, all different kinds of, yoga studios, you name it. He's got something like 60 different businesses now in his network. And what you do as the consumer, the average person walking around buys a card. I want to say it's like $25 a year, just like your entertainment book. But this is a card, and it gives you access to all these deals and discounts. And each month, a new deal or discount comes from the vendors. And this event, I think, is going to be discounted or free for cardholders. And it's going to be a really fun thing, just like the old beer fest and everything else. We're finally getting something that's healthy happening here.
A Juice Fest, and you say it's up in Wexford. The date is when? Where is it being held once again, and how can my listeners become involved?
Sure. It's going to be at the Pure Athletics Sportsplex, and that's in Wexford, PA. And you can go to the Organically Social website is getorganicallysocial.com.
Okay.
And the guy that runs it, Trenton, is just a fireball of energy and, really into all the fitness stuff. Did you see where there's so many things happening? I can't even keep up with them. Did you see the homes in the outfield this weekend? There was 1,400 people doing yoga in center field in PNC Park before the game on Saturday.
No, I didn't catch that. Usually I'm that's fascinating that 1,400 people were in center field doing yoga, but
we're just, I think the entire area is really waking up. We're becoming such a big bike and fitness center. We're really known as a bike city, which is, I find completely ironic considering how many hills we have around here.
Oh yeah, but they have these bike lanes now. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Just about everywhere downtown Pittsburgh has a way for, if you want to be active and move around the place, it can be done with some safety now, and I'm encouraged by it. And I see a lot of people riding those bikes. A lot of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. How about if we take a short break, and when we come back, I want you to tell people about these podcasts, and you didn't mention where they are, when they are. Do you archive them anywhere? Because if you miss one, is there a way here? I don't know the answer to those questions. You mind answering them when we get back?
We can do that.
Okay. Folks, we're with Sven Hosford, who's in a bathroom down at the bus station at Penn Avenue, talking to us from a phone that's been abused, let's say, by those who participate in the use of that bathroom. I got to get out of this, Jim. Let me just take a short break. We'll be back in a moment with Sven. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AIM Impact on Your Health. Heard here in KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today on a Wednesday morning version of the show. We're spending our time with Sven Hosford, the go-to guy when it comes to Western Pennsylvania of what is happening in the health arena. He's a guy that ought to know. We're finding out about juice bets. By the way, I'm going to ask him what the date was because I'm not so sure I heard a date. But he's going to ask him once again for the website to go to. Anyway, we're learning a lot of things about happening in our backyards. Sven, are you there with us again, my friend?
I am. I'm right here. Enjoying every minute of this with a bathtub at the back alley washroom at the back.
Oh, Sven, you picked the bathroom, not me. Look.
There's something written on the wall here. It says Dr. Courtney has a wow.
I've seen that message before. Could you please scratch that one out? What I wanted to ask of you was, could you let our listeners know, you're talking about these podcasts. I keep getting them emailed to me. You're nice enough to do that. If somebody wants to listen to a podcast live, how do they do it? Are they archived in any way? So if there was one in the past, they could see that. Tell us more about how our listeners could learn what is so nice to be able to garnish once they've seen one of your podcasts. The two that I've seen have just been excellent. I've learned so much from them. Go ahead. Tell us more about it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Courtney. Yes, the real thing about podcasts is we do it live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. So if you go to the journaloflifestylemedicine.com, you can watch it live. It's a little bit like watching behind the scenes because we do it in segments, so you get to see all the chatter that goes on behind the scenes and that sort of thing. So I do a calendar segment to keep everybody up to date with what's happening in the area. There's a couple things we should talk about probably that are happening tomorrow. But so I do a calendar every week, and then I get to a guest and maybe two guests sometimes. And if you subscribe to our podcast, and so what you do is you go to YouTube, and we're also on iTunes on the audio side. And then there are two other audio services called Spreaker and Stitcher. And those are both apps that you can download to your phone. And you can subscribe on any of those four things to the Journal of Lifestyle Medicine. And it'll come right up. And when you hit subscribe, that means that every week you'll get an email that a new show is up. And so you just go to that, and it's right there. And all of the old shows are right there as well. So if you go to YouTube and search on Journal of Lifestyle Medicine or search on iTunes or on Spreaker or Stitcher, all of our podcasts come up and the archive forever. And we have had, I have to say, we've had some really, really amazing, fun guests. Just to name a couple of the ones recently, we had Chef AJ, who literally was a comedian who was on the Tonight Show.
I remember when I saw that show, that's the way you kicked off the show. She's a funny lady. She was on Johnny Carson's show, wasn't she?
She was, and she's a year younger than me, which really flips me out, you know. But she was so funny. She would say things like, you go to your doctor and say, Doc, I can't help I have diabetes, it runs in the family. And the doctor says, no, you have diabetes because no one runs in your family. Those are her kind of jokes. But she was really fascinating about how to make healthy food delicious. And she cooks with no sugar, no salt, and no oil. So it's really interesting. Her book is called Unprocessed. So I was going to say it's a process to learn how to cook unprocessed. Another guest we've had on is Dr. Gary Samuelson. And this was really fascinating. This is right up your alley, Dr. Courtney. He is the guy that developed this product called ASEA. He's an atomic medical physicist. And he has found a way to isolate and create outside of the body these molecules that occur naturally inside the cells that help the body determine which cells need repaired or which cells need replaced. And those are called redox signaling molecules. And, I'm just I'm like you, Dr. Courtney. I'm just a yinzer from Mount Washington, and I got to speak in small sentences and short words sometimes to be able to understand it. And I just barely understood what this guy was talking about. It's a fascinating subject. So Dr. Gary Samuelson was another one you might find interesting. We've had Dr. Thomas Levy on, Death by Calcium. I tell you, the one that's going up today, Dean Juhan, it is fascinating, amazing, deep philosophical. And next week I've got a guy named Ralph Stevens coming on. He's going to be talking about neural reset therapy. And both Dean Juhan and Ralph are going to be here in Pittsburgh at Seven Springs in November. If anybody's a body worker, massage therapist, or is looking for those kinds of CEs, this is a way to get 2 years worth of CEs in one weekend up at Seven Springs. And this is a thing being put on by the Pittsburgh School of Massage Therapy. And that's Bob Jantz runs that school. He does a great program, a very well-respected school. And again, it's, I think, November 2nd through the 4th. PGHFCHMASS.com is his website. That's for body workers and such. Again, the Juice Fest coming up is November 15th.
November 15th. I finally heard the date. Okay.
That's a Saturday. I tell you what, two things are happening Thursday at work of note. There's a place downtown that's within 10 minutes walking anywhere in the Golden Triangle called The Verve 360. It's a health and wellness, Pilates, yoga, waxing. You can get waxing done as well. That kind of a place, but they're having an open house. Looks like fun. That's all day Thursday. And then in Bethel Park, we've got a world-famous Tai Chi master coming in for a demonstration. And his name is Dr. Paul Lam, L-A-M. He's with the Tai Chi Institute for Health out of Sydney, Australia. And a local doctor with Mon Valley Hospital, Dr. Ramirez del Toro, is hosting him. It's at the Bethel Park Community Center, I want to say, 7 p.m. All the details, I hope, are up on our website, the Journal of Lifestyle Medicine. If they're not, I'll get them up there today.
Great.
So there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, just keeping track of what I can keep track of with the friends that I've developed. And I have to say, it's so much fun doing business with you and all of the other wellness practitioners. These are people that really get it, that really are honestly and genuinely trying to help people and educate people and share the good word. And, you know, all that you do 3 hours a week on the air is such a public service, Dr. Courtney. I really appreciate you having me on, and I really appreciate all your support over the years.
Well, I'm excited for you, Sven, and we missed you whenever the old magazine, when it went dark, there was a void. We were missing something, and I'm glad you filled the void once again, and you're back doing to what you do best, introducing people to learn more about their health and where the clinicians are, that they can get interesting things done for them, to them, that they just can't get any other place. This journal is going to really become a trademark, and however thick it is now, I'm going to guess it's just going to keep on growing thicker. It's going to be the size of GQ here, you know, within the year. I'm very sure, and I wish you all great success. Any final closing comments you'd like to make? We're coming right up to that gun lap. We're going to be having bongos go off in the background in just a moment. How do you want to pull it close? To a close.
I just want to say first off, go Buccos.
Oh yeah, they clinched.
They're in the playoffs again. That's so exciting. I'm gonna grow a goatee. I think is going to be the big the facial hair to support the Buccos this year. I did a Fu Manchu last year, and it didn't quite go over that well. So we're going with the goatee this year for playoff beard. I just want to encourage everybody to, you know, do the research, get out there, question authority, question your doctor. All the doctors that I have talked to that say they can tell survivors from people who are going to succumb to their illness say it's the people that question and search and research. You are the expert on your body, and you have to be telling the doctors what it is you want and need. And I think that's the best advice I can give anybody, and it's something that's reinforced with every interview I do.
Perfect. All right, Sven, thank you very much. By the way, if you don't move, you just stay right there, you'll get waxed. You won't have to go down to the point, okay? Don't worry about it. It'll come to you, Sven.
I'll just stay right here then.
All right. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon, my friend.
Goodbye. I'll see you very soon.
All right. There you have it. Sven Hosford. Well, when he was talking, I was jumping onto the computer, and I've gone to YouTube. Yeah, go to youtube.com, and in the search engine, just put Journal of Lifestyle Medicine, and all of those podcasts come up. He didn't mention me, but I'm one of the podcasts that has been done in the past, but there's great names there, more to learn. And then when you want to find out what's happening, go to the official website, which is journaloflifestylemedicine.com, and there you'll find all the activities that are going on, that juice thing back in November. More about that, I'm sure. Okay, bongos in the background, signaling our time out of here. I want you to have a wonderful day today. Look forward to seeing you on Friday, talking about supplementation, sensible supplementation. Then, until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Sven Hosford saying so long for AM Impact on your health.